Targa's a drug of speed, you know. It's very addictive. It's just a fantastic state. Phenomenal roads, lovely people.
Targa is a true endurance event.
And competition is a part of it as well.
It's an elusive thing. It's just getting that car dancing down the road at hopefully 5% faster than it's possible to go. And you can't do it anywhere else in the world.
Real range of cars through the 30s to the 80s running in Classic and having a lot of fun along the way.
I guess we could be altruistic and say, you know, the sense of adventure and, you know, nobody else has came to do it, so why not a couple of old gentlemen?
Insanity. It's got to be.
It's a wonderful thing. My son and I are doing it together, and it's an absolute blast for a son and father to do. You buy a car like this, you really want to be able to use it, and it's really friendly. Everyone's helpful. Great bunch of people.
It is a globally unique event. Where else in the world do you get to do these things? It's just amazing sport and some very dedicated people in some wild machinery.
The classic field at Targa Tasmania 2017 is made up of a massive range of cars that represent a rolling history of motoring from the 1930s through to the mid-1980s. Classic GT features modified sports and GT cars competing for outright honours over the gruelling 6-day event. The field varies from classic Porsches and Japanese sports cars right through to Aussie V8 muscle. The classic competition differs from GT in that it features a handicap system, with each car set a unique base time for the stages. Through equalising the field, it allows an Austin A30 to compete with Porsche 944 turbos and Mazda RX-7s.
We have a handicap and an outright competition for classics. Obviously, the classic GT boys are pretty serious, but the heart and soul of classic has always been in the handicap competition, because basically anyone on their day can win. The cars are evened up on performance, not on cruise, so it's all about the best team, which makes it pretty unique. There's a number of cars that can win this year.
In a return to the event's roots, a massive growth area for Targa Tasmania in recent years has been the Tour. Run before the competition vehicles hit the stages, all types of cars enjoy the opportunity to experience some of the world's ultimate driving roads completely closed to oncoming traffic.
We're going through organic change, I think, you know, back to the original concept of the event. A lot more people just touring and just enjoying the event, enjoying the road. The original concept was the cavalcade of motoring history. If you just have racing cars, there's only so many cars that really suit that purpose. The great thing with touring and the speed limited competitions is that there's just so much more variety in the cars, and a lot of the manufacturers are getting involved in that. We've got Ferrari here for the first time, Lotus are here, and obviously Porsche, who have had an incredible history with the event, just continue to get more and more involved in it.
The first day of Targa Tasmania kicked off at the Launceston Country Club, with Graham Copeland and Josh Herbert's 1941 GMC Jimmy Special given the honour of leading the field of 270 cars away.
It's a real honour to get the flag. We appreciate the trust Targa put in us. Chassis is a 34 Chev chassis. We widened it to fit the fuller figured gentleman. The motor's out of a 6-wheel drive army truck at GMC, so it's pretty standard. This is my 15th, so the worst thing is I'm coming back with no roof. You'd think I'd learn.
The first day of Targa Tasmania 2017 differs from previous years due to Anzac Day falling on the event's second day. Instead of the traditional Georgetown prologue, the States East will play host to 2017's opening stages, including the Sidling, a stage that has become iconic over the years as a true test of both crew and machine, especially in the wet conditions that greeted the crews in 2017. With the Cayena stage a warm-up, the Sidling was 2017's first test and a true baptism of fire for cars and crew. In classic GT, John and Gina Siddons made their intentions immediately clear, defending champions flying through the stage. The Datsun 240Z was a massive 32 seconds up on the Tirana of Mick and Daniel Bray, with Anthony Ginocchio and Scott Hamilton's Commodore third. Over the following stages, both Craig Hazeman and Julie Borman's Triumph TR7 and the Tirana of Mick Downey and Jared Acker featured on the leaderboard, the Tirana winning the Pine Garner stage. However, the Siddons remained consistent, ending the day in the Launceston CBD with a healthy 1 minute 38 second advantage from the pair of chasing Tiranas.
Not a bad day, a bit slippery up over the Sidling. We poked along but not too hard. Had a bit of a run at Welborough Pass, and then we settled down a bit and cruised home.
Yeah, when he said we settled down a bit, that's a lie. The Sidling was a pretty slippery stage, but a blast to be going through, you know, and John's so good in the wet was fantastic.
Started chasing down times that actually weren't there on the sidling this morning, and we put it into the bank. We actually put it in pretty hard, and we're very, very, very lucky boys today. Backed her out, got the car going again, and thought, oh, it actually doesn't feel too bad. So we pushed on. We'll start at Georgetown and see how the week pans out. So hopefully it dries out and we get to open the big girl up.
In Classic, the flag car of Graham Copeland and Josh Herbert shocked the field on the opening stages. The 1941 Jimmy Special sliding through the sidling, a ludicrous 1 minute 18 seconds faster than the competition, a sight that left spectators looking on in pure astonishment. Copeland and Herbert also triumphed on the Marina stage, this time 19 seconds up on Peter and Sari Ulrichs Jensen. However, it was short-lived. On Waldborough Pass, Jimmy Special suffered an engine problem, which proved terminal. Their astonishing performance over in just 4 stages. This left the Ulrichs Jensen CV8 out in front, although over the course of the day, both the Ferrari 308 of David Gilliver and Nigel Shellshear and the Monaro of Richard Woodman and Neil Gibson performed well and looked likely to chase the Jensen hard throughout the event.
Car's been really well prepped this year. We left it with our service crew. We haven't driven it in a year, and Carter Mechanical up in Smith, and he's done a great job. It's just awesome. It's really nice to get in a car that works.
David Gilliver, our friend, is in front of us in the Ferrari. I hope to pick him up tomorrow. You get better and better during the week. You actually get your eye in and the car's going better. So we'll see how we go.
We had a good run. Cars performed well. We're here to enjoy it, share the car with other people. We've already had a couple of kids jump in it. Ferrari fans, 6 and 7 year old. It was great to look at the smiles on their faces.
With the stages done for the day, it was time for Targa Fest in the Launceston CBD. The 270-strong field took over George Street, giving fans the chance to check out the multi-million-dollar rolling automotive show for themselves. Dawn rose to silence on day 2 of Targa Tasmania 2017, with the competition not held in the morning in commemoration of Anzac Day.
At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
For me, Anzac Day is always a day of remembrance. As a veteran, Targa in themselves have also taken it on board to promote Anzac Day. We have a service this evening at the Silver Dome, and they have been very, very supportive and helped us arrange that and our remembrance of Anzac Day.
The day's only stage was at Georgetown, the cars tackling the infamous streets that have featured as part of Targa since 1994. With the Anzac Day public holiday this year, a bumper crowd was present to check out the action.
This is a stage you get to flog your cars through the streets of a town legally, and you don't get locked up. Love it.
Georgetown is a highlight of Targa, and the people here and the lunch is absolutely fantastic.
Georgetown's always a fun stage. Having it on Anzac Day makes it a bit different this year. Plenty of crowd always come and watch, and I'm sure the locals enjoy the fun of seeing some great cars competing around their streets.
We have a strategy today. It's drive it like he stole it and navigate it like he stole it. So watch out for us.
I think the big crowds that are placed on the corners around town really make for a little bit of showboating, and we have a little bit of fun.
Everyone loves a Commodore. You see all the exotics driving around, but every time you go past in a local muscle car, everyone likes a Commodore, likes a V8, so you always try and put on a show.
While Georgetown is undoubtedly about the fans, the stage is still a competitive test, and it was John and Gina Siddons who set the streets on fire. Not only did they set fastest time in Classic GT, but also 3rd fastest outright, besting both the front-running modern Dodge Vipers and various other supercars. Second in Classic GT, Downey and Acker also set a time fast enough for 10th outright. In Classic, Peter and Sari Ulrichs' magnificent Jensen extended its lead, with Bruce Power and Ray Baker's Mazda RX-7 tying Woodman and Gibson's Monaro for second on the stage, the Holden overhauling the Gilliver Shellshear Ferrari on the leaderboard. The sun rose to dry conditions for day 3, the event's longest day in terms of competitive kilometres, among them some of the event's most iconic. Paluna and Rihanna are favourites, and Sathana is widely regarded as one of the world's best roads, with 37 kilometres of twisting tarmac, jewel in Targa's crown, and a challenge for both car and crew. 5th place Classic GT competitors Barry Foe and Terezi Mihailovic found this out the hard way on the downhill run partway through the stage.
It was pretty frightening. This is what happens when the calipers grab the outside of the brake and the inside of the brake is not attached to the wheel. nothing.
As the cars completed the epic stages and settled into their overnight homes in Burnie, it wasn't just the competition crews buzzing, tour participants equally enjoying the opportunity to tackle some of the world's ultimate driving roads.
It's really an excellent sort of event for anyone to come along to.
This is so much better than a circuit going round and round. You get all these amazing roads. They're closed off. You can go to the other side.
In Classic, Day 3 was the opportunity for the Ulrichs to take charge. Their Jensen CV8 ideally suited to the flowing roads of Targa Tasmania's third day, extending their lead to a commanding 4 minutes and 25 seconds. With the Jensen gapping the field, attention diverted behind, with the unique nature of the Classic handicap system resulting in some intriguing battles throughout the field.
Dave and Nigel, they got 2 foxtails on their car and they called me the yellow hound chasing them down, so we were very pleased to do that today. A Ferrari and a Monaro vying for second place in a competition. You would never see that in any other forms of motor racing.
Tathana is the most iconic stage of the whole Targa Tasmania, and we went really, really well, and we beat our nemesis in the yellow Monaro. Foxes escaped the hound, so we're really happy.
Today in Safana, it was just absolutely, for us, mind-blowing.
When he's driving and it's ordinary like this, then when he gets excited, the wings come out, right? So he's like that. So that's my telltale sign when I'm getting nudged that he's having a good time.
The big movers of the day in Classic GT were Craig Hazeman and Julie Borman. The Triumph TR7 V8 picking up 4th place on Paluna and then 3rd on Sheffield, ending the day in Burnie content with their performance.
Catching slow Porsches and overtaking Evo 10s, you know, people start to appreciate how fast these classics are. It's just a big game of chess at the moment. And if the roads stay dry, I think we're in a pretty good spot to stay firmly on the podium.
The battle for the Classic GT lead was hot all day, with Mick Downey and Jared Acker's Tirana trading times the Datsun of John and Gita Siddons. The Tirana managing to sit on top of the leaderboard on 3 stages, including the challenging Guns Plains test, where the Tirana was also outright 4th fastest. In the end, the crew clawed 8 seconds back over the day from the 240Z.
Today we managed to sort of match him most of the way, so pretty exciting stuff. We were fist pumping and high-fiving and carrying on the whole lot. It was lots of fun.
However, not all was 100% in the Team 24-ounce camp.
Going through Castra, I hit something in there and broke a strut. Nursed it home, basically. Still went reasonably quick, but I didn't want a chance breaking anything. Jamie Vandenberg, here local in Burnie at the mower shop, he had a welder. So we got my service crew, Neil, who's a welder. So he welded all back together. Feels good, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Very big day, very long day. John still did a great job, even though we had a couple of problems with the car. Great turnout here again. Burnie supports us wonderfully.
The 4th day of Targa Tasmania 2017 began with blue skies as the crews trekked to the state's far northwest before heading south for a spectacular 415k day of tarmac rallying. Farming land of the first 3 stages made way to challenging passes, with the infamous Hell Yeah Gorge stage a favourite with crews, before the Mount Black and Rosebery stages took the field to the overnight stop in Strawn. The opening stage, Monchamana, brought mixed fortunes in Classic GT. The Datsun 240Z of John and Gina Siddons powered to an outright stage win and an astonishing achievement in a 47-year-old car. However, disaster befell the Tirana of Mick Downey and Jared Acker.
There's no excuse. Loose gravel, very, very, very fast Tirana, and just come in a bit too hot and tried to turn in and simply couldn't. Stick out the farmer's fence with the underneath side of the car, and there's actually not a scratch on it. So we had a broken steering arm, tie rod end, and we also bent the diff. Nothing else to say bar dobbing myself in more for driver error, so I'll stop right there.
Downey and Acker's retirement meant by the time the crews arrived in Strawn, the Triumph TR7 V8 of Hazeman and Borman was holding down second, with Mick and Daniel Bray's Tirana in third.
We heard that Mick had an off on the first stage, which was not good news, but to our benefit. There's no way we can catch Johnny. He's just on a different planet somehow.
So enjoying the competition from second place back at this point in time.
We've had a good day today. Started out pretty steady.
We're just going to conserve tyres, really, and just try and make it through till Saturday is probably the game plan at this point. A little bit of rain is good for the tyres, but not so good for the car. We'll just keep chipping away.
Oryx continued to lead the classic competition. However, behind, the fight intensified with the battle of the Fox and the Hound looking set to continue all the way to Hobart. An intriguing battle for fourth also emerged, with Bruce Power and Ray Baker's Mazda RX-7 leading a 1985 BMW 3 Series, 1974 Porsche 911 Carrera and a 1938 Dodge Speedster.
On the whole, I think we've consolidated fifth at the moment, so we're comfortable with that and enjoying ourselves and looking forward to the run through to Hobart tomorrow.
I'm still second, but Dave took out his 22 odd seconds out of today, so he's only 53 behind us, and it should be wet tomorrow. So big long stages, very fast stages. We'll see what he can do and what I can do.
For Classic Crews, the event is not just about stage times. For many, the challenge of Targa is to just finish the gruelling 6-day endurance event. That struggle is epitomised by day 5, with the 332 kilometres along the rugged west coast, a true test for both crew and machinery. The epic 52-kilometre Mount Arrowsmith stage defines the day, a truly iconic test that throws everything possible at the crews. The day started out with a scare for the leading Classic GT crew, John and Gina Siddons nursing a broken diff mount through the morning stages, including the cliffside 99 bends of Queenstown and the monstrous 52 kilometres of Mount Arrowsmith.
Well, going into Strawn, we took off from there and something started thumping around in the back and thought it was something a bit strange. So we nursed it through Strawn, Queenstown and Arrowsmith just so we'd get to see the boys, because I knew I had some replacement bits there.
And that's probably one of the things that John does best, comes prepared with the bits that he knows that he might need, so he actually bought a spare diff mount with him, so that's how we were able to fix it within time.
Behind, Craig Hazeman and Julie Borman had a consistent day, holding second over the Braze Tirana, with the Porsches of Macaulay and Etienne, and Young and Reed holding fourth and fifth.
Basically, plan was to have a crack on Strawn, Queenstown, Arrowsmith, and then have a look at lunchtime to work out where we're going to be. We managed to pull back nearly 2 minutes on those 3 stages. The sun came out, the roads dried up, and we just went and had some fun this afternoon.
In the classic competition, the battle for second tightened, with the Fox overhauling the Hound in a thrilling battle of Aussie V8 muscle versus the Italian thoroughbred.
We managed to cat the Monaro, the Hound as we call him, on the Strawn stage. I think we were about 4 or 5 seconds behind, and then through Queenstown and into Arrowsmith we managed to take the lead by about 16 seconds and then dried out once we got it towards Hobart. He's slowly clawing it back in the dry with all that 550 horsepower, but we're going to give it a red hot go tomorrow.
For others in the field, just making it to Hobart for the Targa Fest display at Princess Wharf represented winning a battle in their own right. With only 6 stages remaining to round out Targa Tasmania 2017.
Sergey's going fine, but he got caught in a Porsche cooling fan earlier, and when the tyre markings went on, he got spray painted pink. He's fine, aren't you, mate? Yes, he's good.
The final day of Targa Tasmania 2017 saw competitors head south of the city to tackle 6 dry stages. Helverada, Oyster Cove and Cygnet, along with the day's final stage, Longley, were highlights. However, for some, day 6 proved to be a challenging day, with mechanical gremlins always poised to strike. After the day's stages, the Hobart waterfront waited, with a ceremonial finish at Princess Wharf celebrating the achievements of all competitors who managed to finish the gruelling 6 days of Targa Tasmania 2017.
Oh, it's been great. We spent all week driving these lovely cars over some fantastic Tasmanian roads. Locals have been great. Not only can we drive these cars on some fantastic roads, but food and wine's been fantastic, so it's just been a real pleasure to be here in Tassie.
There's nowhere in the world where you can travel in this beautiful landscape, have the roads to yourself and drive in a vehicle like this. I mean, there's nothing like Targa out there that I've ever experienced personally.
For many of the classic crews, finishing on the Hobart waterfront was a rich reward after 6 challenging days, even if some left parts of their car behind on the journey.
You forgot something!
Everyone who crossed the finish line was a winner by sheer virtue of conquering one of motorsport's greatest challenges. In Classic, the stunning Jensen CV8 of Peter and Sari Ulrich continued their dominance of Targa Tasmania 2017 to roll into Hobart for an emotional victory. Peter's first in Classic after 18 attempts at the world's ultimate Tarmac Rally, achieved with his wife Sari by his side in the co-driver's seat.
First Classic top place podium, yeah. 18 years. It's been a long time. And I tell you, Sar's been sick as a dog all week. It's been a real struggle, but she didn't miss a call.
The battle for second in Classic was the story of the final day, with only a narrow 8-second gap separating the Ferrari and Monaro at the start of the day. On Tinderbox, the Hound halved the gap to the Fox. On Pelverada, the Hound had the Fox's scent and narrowed the gap to a scant 1 second. But on Gardiner's Bay, the Fox escaped from the jaws of defeat, pulling 3 seconds on the Hound. Oyster Cove and Cygnet saw the gap extend further, the Fox finally free.
We had a 1 second lead. On the third stage, I don't know what happened.
He drove like a lunatic. If you're going to be that brave, you can have the race. This man found another level. He can drive like an absolute superhuman.
You've got a Hound 1 second off your tail. You got to drive. You got to drive.
They both found another level.
What can I say? A beautiful state, lovely, friendly people who lend us their fantastic roads. And here we are in a Ferrari and a Monaro on the handicap, so close it could have come down to the last stage of the day. I think it's a fantastic thing. It's the only place in the world it would happen.
In Classic GT, the Shannons continued their dominance at the 2017 event, winning each of the day's stages, coming into Hobart both the category champions and also 9th outright in 2017's Tale of David versus Goliath. After a consistent performance, Craig Hazeman and Julie Borman finished second, with Mick and Daniel Bray's Tirana third. V8 Muscle beating out a trio of Porsches for the final spot on the podium.
We're really happy with the result. Been a long haul for us. We haven't raced for 12 months, so we've done a lot of development over the last 12 months, but the car was a shell 6 weeks ago, so we had to work really hard, and nice to get the old Tirana home and over the line in third. Good to get a podium. Another really awesome Targa. The weather's been awesome today. The roads are fantastic, but it's nerve-wracking on the last day just to get to the end.
To be second on the podium is really awesome, so I'm well excited.
We've had a great event. I've had a ball. I'm very pleased to be in the top 10, and wouldn't have been here without Gina. Gina's the one that got us there. I just couldn't have done anything without her, and the confidence in her calls in all those fast sections is amazing.
It's been a brilliant event. We've had a fantastic time. I'd like to thank our sponsors. This win is for every Aussie out there. If you've got the right sponsors, the right team, the right setup, the right determination, mate, you can achieve anything.
Make some noise for Targa Tasmania 2017!
With the world's largest champagne shower, the winners celebrated the success of Targa Tasmania 2017. We'll be back next year for the 27th annual event as part of the new CAMS Australian Targa Championship.